Yo, what is going on everybody over on One End Gaming? This is Crimson. Today what we are bringing you guys is some more Black Ops 3, and the gameplay you guys are going to be watching in the background today is going to be yet another Nuked Out done by Skirvox. The last commentary I did over here on One End was last week, and it was yet another Nuked Out, and now he's gotten another one for us. And as I said in that last commentary, I mentioned that this guy is pretty solid at free-for-all, and he's definitely living up to his expectations, as he's already gotten two nuked outs, within the first week and a half of Black Ops 3, and he may even have more, but this is only the second one that's obviously going up on this clan channel, done by this guy. So he's definitely a beast player overall. I definitely suggest you guys go check him out. He's got some great free-for-all gameplays over on his channel, from Modern Warfare 3 all the way up to Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2, whatever you can think of. Definitely a pretty solid multi-COD pub stomper. He's also a French player, so I don't believe he does commentaries, and if he does, then you probably wouldn't understand him if you're not French, but that's besides the point. As I said, he's a great player, so definitely go check him out. His link will be down below. And if you guys do enjoy any of the commentary topic, as always, my link will be down there as well, so let's get into the commentary. So today what I'm going to be talking about is one thing that I like about Black Ops 3 so far, and then one thing that I dislike about Black Ops 3 so far. So let's get on to what I like about Black Ops 3 so far. So the one thing that I relatively enjoy about Black Ops 3 so far is the weapon balancing and the weapon variety in this game. Now, I did mention this in the last commentary that I did over here a couple of days ago, and I didn't really get to go in depth into it because that commentary topic was relatively short just because the gameplay was so fast, and I also went over a class setup. But the reason why I like the weapon variety so much in this game is because I believe that in the past Call of Duty, which was obviously Advanced Warfare, I felt that the weapon variety wasn't that great in that game, mainly due to the fact that there were supply drops, and there were quite a few weapons in that game that just weren't viable, such as like the AMR-9 or the NA-45, or certain crossbows that you would get out of supply drops. And the fact that supply drops were in the game and you can get different weapon variants out of those supply drops made it so that you were constantly getting weapons that you wouldn't really feel used to using and would feel viable in using them, such as like an MK14 or stupid weapons such as that, as I mentioned. And so the reason why I like the weapon variety in this game is because I feel that most weapons in this game are relatively solid, and there are quite a few ARs and SMGs that are not extremely dominant, and most of them are, I'd say, somewhat balanced. There are quite a few weapons in this game that are obviously somewhat unbalanced, but that's going to happen in every single Call of Duty. Of course, weapon balancing is always going to be a flaw, as I mentioned in the last commentary. And to be honest, as a pub stomper and a commentator, I personally wish that there were certain weapons in this game that were actually overpowered, because when you have certain overpowered weapons in the game, it creates kind of a skill gap between the really solid players and the really, subpar / casual players. And what I mean by that is, of course, in Advanced Warfare, anyone could have achieved an Obsidian Steed or a Speakeasy out of a supply drop, but in previous Call of Duties like Black Ops 2, of course, the most probably overpowered weapon in that game, which probably wasn't even that overpowered, would probably have to be either the AN-94 or the FAL, and the FAL was only viable to those who had a solid trigger finger, and of course in Modern Warfare 3 it was like the ACR and the MP7, and so, even the good players who use the MP7 or the ACR against bad players, the bad players, even if they were using those good guns, they wouldn't be able to do well. And of course, in Advanced Warfare, if you had an Obsidian Steed and another bad player had an Obsidian Steed, he'd be able to melt you just because of that +2 damage. So that's one thing that I definitely like about Black Ops 3 so far, is the fact that the weapon variety is pretty solid in this game, along with the weapon balancing. And I don't notice any too extremely overpowered weapons, but at the same time, of course, there are weapons that stand out to be better than others. And so the one thing that I dislike about Black Ops 3 so far is the fact that the spawns in this game aren't really that great so far. They have recently patched the spawns, I believe, a couple of days ago. When the game first came out, for the first couple of days, if you pushed slightly into the spawn in domination, the spawns would immediately flip, so it was basically like you were playing a back and forth game. And I even noticed that once I put up my VSAT or my hater, you would notice how messed up the spawns would be. Sometimes I would be spawning in the enemy spawn and it would get kind of annoying after a while. And of course in free-for-all, in this gameplay that you're watching, the spawns can be kind of hectic at certain times, and I've noticed that in this game compared to other Call of Duties, they're even more messed up just because you can spawn literally right next to someone. I'm not sure if Treyarch has since tweaked the spawns in free-for-all since I'm doing this commentary, but that's besides the point. I think the spawns have gotten slightly better ever since they patched them a couple of days ago, but I still think that they could use some more improvement, seeing as, you could push up to the spawn and they automatically flip, and then it's basically like a back and forth game, as I said. But Nonetheless, those are the things that I like and dislike about Black Ops 3 so far, so definitely be sure to go check out Skurvox. His link will be down below as always. This is definitely a pretty solid nuked out on the map Stronghold, and he's using the PHARO SMG, which is a pretty decent SMG, and it's pretty unique gameplay to be able to get a nuked out on such a, I'd say, somewhat big map being Stronghold, so definitely be sure to go check him out like I said, and if you guys do enjoy any of the commentary, my link will be down there as well, and I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and I'm out. Peace.